Thank you. Comcast, I work for Comcast, and Comcast is the largest cable company, as most of you probably know, in the United States. We serve about 25 million US homes, or about just under 1 in 4 US homes with either video, phone, or data services, or a combination of the three. Now, as Bruce mentioned, Comcast is headquartered in Philadelphia, but we serve in more than 90 markets across the United States. 65 of those markets, we're the dominant cable provider, much as we are here in Chicago. But in all of the markets that we're in, Chicago is the largest market, and it's the largest on two fronts. One is the number of households that we provide services to. But the other, and probably even more importantly, is that it's the largest media market that we have a significant penetration into. In the media business, which is the part of Comcast that I work in, you've really got New York, LA, Chicago, and then everybody else. And so Chicago, being the #3 television market, is where, I mean, you've got Cablevision kind of has a lock on New York, Time Warner has Los Angeles, Comcast has Chicago. It's our biggest media market, and it's our biggest market, period. And as a result, it's one that's very core to everything that we do. When we launch new products, they tend to launch here first. So it's something that is, this market is really critical for us on a whole bunch of strategic and operational levels. With that, the area in Comcast that I work in is in the interactive TV advertising products. And this slide that you see right here is one that I like to show when I'm talking about the things that we're doing. And what I really like is as people look at this screen, typically savvy media buyers look at this screen, and I'll say that it's TV 2.0, which is, what we're talking about is the revolution that is coming in retail marketing. And of course, these savvy media buyers will look at me and they'll typically roll their eyes a little bit and say, revolution? Really? And I understand that, but it always makes me remember in 1996 when I was working in the Bay Area talking to marketers about this new thing called the internet that was really going to substantially and fundamentally impact the way that they did business. And then in 95, 96, many marketers, and I think that many of you here were probably there and saw the same look in many people's eyes as you talked about the impact that the internet was going to have on their business and business at large. And many people then rolled their eyes and said, really? They didn't believe it. But it is coming. The revolution is coming, and interactive television is going to be a big part of it. What I want to walk you through real quickly is, I mean, this is going to happen really on multiple levels. There's going to be many consumer products that are about to hit your television screen, over the next 12 to 24 months, that are going to start hitting your television screen. But there's also going to be many advertising products. And what we're in the process now of doing is creating all the capability for that to happen. Of course, there's always a delta between the time that it's possible to do a thing and the time that marketers and video people that create the products, create the content, begin to do it. But when you look at what's happening very, very quickly is that you're going to be able to interact with TV content on the television screen. You'll be able to, as you're sitting at home, if you've got Comcast and you're watching the Bears game, a call comes in, up will pop a little screen that says your mother-in-law is calling, and you'll have the option to immediately send it to voicemail. So you'll have on-screen caller ID. You'll be able to check your email on screen. To the extent that we're largely pushing people or trying to get people engaged with creating their email now, because we have high-speed internet connections in a video format, you'll be able to see video email on your television screen. There will be peer-to-peer gaming, meaning that you'll be able to play Scrabble or whatever games become, or trivia, or whatever games become available with somebody who's next door to you or across the town from you. There's a whole variety of a plethora of products that are going to be coming and made available by that digital set-top box that is part of the digital TV household. Now, The area that I work in is in the advertising part of this. And really, when you think about digital advertising products, this is true for interactive TV, but it's also true for any other kind of advertising products. There's really kind of two buckets of advertising products. We kind of classify them as in different ways: interstitial versus persistent, linear versus nonlinear, or push versus pull. But the real difference is between these two kind of classifications is there are some kinds of advertising products that do and will present themselves to you while you're trying to do something else, right? They're intrusive in nature. There are other kinds of advertising products that will be available to you when you want to use them. So those are the pull products. And really, if you think about the newspaper business, which this has been true for a very long time, while you're reading the business section, you might see an ad for the Bank of America. But when you go into the classified section, if you're looking for a job, all of those liner ads for classifieds, those are advertisements too, but they're there waiting for you. You know where they are and you can seek them out. The same thing is going to be true in interactive TV, just as the same thing has become true with internet media. So real briefly, we've got, this is a very condensed version of what's happening, but we're going to have enhanced TV spots, the same 30-second spots you know and love already. There's on the digital guide that you're already using if you're a digital TV home to find the programs you like. There will be ads there, and there will be display ads on ITV apps, which when I come back to this, I think will make a little bit more sense. From a nonlinear perspective or a pull perspective, we're already using video on demand, the video on demand platform, as a marketing platform, and we're coming up with more and better ways to use the VOD platform. And as we go down this road, it's sort of a crawl, walk one. So that phase one is video on demand. What is about to start happening here in Chicago, and very quickly after in several other markets, is more interactive video. And then ultimately what we'll get to is real-time database applications, so that you'll be able to interact with live databases on the television screen, just like you do now on a computer screen. So when you think about the linear products or the push products, the first thing that comes to mind is the television spot itself, and that's going to be greatly enhanced. Now, as you're looking at this and listening to me, remember that we have many privacy issues. I mean, for Comcast as well as all the other cable providers, and I think true for any service provider, the privacy of the customer is a paramount consideration. So there are many privacy considerations that we're still exploring and making sure that we're respecting everybody's personal information. But what's clearly possible, and what we're in the process of testing, is household targeting. So right now, what happens is that if you are trying to reach an audience with a 30-second TV spot, you're buying a program at a certain day at a certain time, and you get whatever audience happens to be there. But what will become true is that you'll be able to buy the household itself and what we know about that household on a fully anonymized basis, and that you'll be able to reach that household and not the one next to you, even though they're both watching the same program. So this is very similar to what happens in internet advertising today, with the exception that the way that internet targeting works, they don't have information that is as specific. So there's a pretty large variable in terms of from an internet targeting perspective that won't exist in this way. So you'll be able to target. And this could mean something like a store like Walgreens could have a customer database, and they could serve ads only to the homes that they care about. That's the kind of targeting that we're talking about and that we're exploring. From another enhancement to the interactive TV spot will be that it becomes more interactive, right? So that the 30-second spot is going to be clickable. You'll be able to opt into mailing lists if you see something from General Motors or Walgreens that you want more information on. You'd be able to click a button and opt into the mailing list, or to be able to click a button and have that advertiser call your home phone right away, or various other kinds of functions that can be embedded into the video that the consumer can choose to opt into and create some kind of interaction between the advertiser and themselves. on the digital guide, you may have seen this already if you've got the digital guide and you're using that as you're scrolling through programs. There's an ad that kind of looks like an internet ad on the bottom, and that ad today is clickable so that you can click on it and it would launch a video related to whatever the advertisement is for. So in this case, you're seeing an ad for the Pontiac Solstice. You click on this and you can see a 4-minute video about the Pontiac Solstice, etc. And then we've got the pull ads, or the nonlinear ad products. And this is the area that I personally spend more time in. Right now, we've got the video on demand platform, and it's been very effective for many advertisers, even though it doesn't have the kind of functionality that everybody really wants it to have, including us. But right now, you could go, if you have Comcast, you could click into video on demand, go into the search like section, go into automotive, and then you'd be able to find videos about whatever GM auto products are there right now. Now, GM has been doing this with us. They're on their 3rd year of this, and it's been a really successful platform for it. We also have a host of other advertisers that are doing it, and it works a lot like ordering a movie from HBO or Showtime, except that you're seeing advertainment, if you will, from the advertiser that's being distributed there. What's about to start happening is what we would call interactive video on demand products, so that there are videos that have clickable hotspots in them, and you'd be able to use your remote control to scroll over what looks very much like buttons on a web page, and to be able to click in and find whatever it is that advertiser has made available to you. So in this case, you might click in to get more information about that car. You might be able to click in to find out where the dealer nearest to you is, or to be able to request a brochure, etc. So this is sort of a stage, the intermediary stage, where it begins to start to look and act more interactive, like the things that we've come to expect with the internet. And then the run phase of this is that when we deploy real-time database-driven media products that you can use. For instance, Yellow Pages, that you'd be able to, with a button on your remote, be able to call up the Yellow Pages or any variety of other kinds of things, and to be able to search for a business. And as you find all of the plumbers in your area, some of them might have a video that you can play to learn more about that product. And that's all happening in real time, so it allows user-defined search and much more web-like functionality, but optimized for the big screen. So when you think about this, if there is a revolution occurring in retail marketing related to interactive TV, then video on demand is really ground zero for that revolution, because it's what we have today, and it's widely deployed. In almost every US market, video on demand is available and can be used as a marketing platform. Now, the caveat is that video on demand is a digital product, and the home has to have a digital set-top box in order to be able to get this information. But that's true for almost 40 million homes as we sit here today. And what's also true is that the cable industry is in a rapid transition period where we are, for many reasons, related to needing to be competitive in the marketplace. We need to be able to deploy products and services that require a digital set-top box. We're in a period of transitioning all of our subscribers, or at least the great majority of our subscribers, 93 to 95% of them, to digital. And as this happens over the next 3 years, there will be greater than 60 million homes available on video on demand. This is something that came from Betsy Lazar, who's well recognized as a thought leader in media planning and media execution and marketing platforms. And if you look down about the third sentence, what she said in this interview with Media Week was that in the future, most customers will use VOD, because instead of sitting at a small desk with a small screen, they'll be able to sit in the family room, arguably with the family, and watch on a large screen big bold shots of the vehicles or products that they're researching. And I think this is very true. Now, obviously, there are some products that are going to be better suited to the television screen than others, but nonetheless, if you think about what's true in marketing today, many of those products are going to be well served by the the average 37-inch TV screen that we're connected to. Excuse me. So, current ad products, we have a lot of different things that we're doing, but there's one area that I've been focusing a lot of my attention over the past few years, and this is an area, because I'm based here in Chicago, this is something that is really fomenting nationally for all cable operators, but right out of Chicago. A couple of years ago, we partnered with a Chicago-based company called Liquidus Marketing and had them build for us an interactive TV listings management platform so that we could access databases of information like MLS listings from real estate from an MLS database or from a broker's database, but also to be able to create some publishing tools so that a private party could go online. And if you went online right now to vodrealestate.com, you'd be able to create your own video ad. And from there, that and all of the database, the information, the data that's pulled from on an automated basis from all the databases is pulled into a queue, and we can convert that to video for playback on the VOD platform in the here and now. And we're doing that now in about 30 of our larger markets. We're not only doing it for real estate, we're doing it for used car listings. We're about to make a very significant announcement in the job listings area so that those will be available on on VOD. And we have plans for both Yellow Pages and my personal favorite, obituaries on demand, and as well as something that we're very excited about, which is the retail circulars. And the retail circulars is one that I'd like to dive into because those are a couple of Chicago companies that we've been specifically working with to put this together. But the idea is to recreate the Sunday circular, the circular that you see in the middle of the Sunday newspaper, to recreate that environment in an interactive TV platform, starting with VOD, and as the capabilities progress, so does the functionality of the product. So the listings management platform that Liquidus Marketing built for us is right now able to tap into the data from another Chicago company called shoplocal.com. ShopLocal maintains all of the product information inside of all of those circulars in a digital format. So working with them, we can tap into their databases, pull up all the information on, say, Walgreens, and then be able to queue it up to convert it to video and seamlessly push it into all of our VOD libraries across the country so that people can see what's on sale at Walgreens this week on their TV set. As we started doing this, we knew that one of the things that marketers like about their print inserts, which by the way is about 80% of their total retail marketing spend, probably a $70 billion industry in and of itself. One of the things that they really like about that is the fact that people can move around with it. They can take it with them and ostensibly even take it into the store. So one of the things that we built into the platform was a text ID. So now this screen is showing you what the template would look like so that all of the pieces, all of the fields of data that we pull from ShopLocal are busted up and put into into this template for playback onto the screen. It's a highly automated process. What we also have is that every single listing has a text ID so that if there's something that you see as you're watching this and you want to take it with you, you can text ID in and download it to your mobile device and bring it with you to the store. So this is kind of the consumer experience of it, and I'm going to leave you with this. So you'd be, right as we sit here today, you'd be on video on demand. You'd click into Searchlight and then into Shopping. And then from here, you'd be able to access the Sunday circular for whichever advertisers are participating in it. And in this one, why don't we go ahead and roll that video? This would be the kind of the consumer experience of it. So you get the idea of it, that the same thing that you see in the newspaper is going to be available to you on the television screen. And some people, when they look at this, they say, well, gee, it's not as exciting as something from HBO. But that's not the point. The point here is to be able to provide you with the information, provide consumers with the information that they care about on the medium that they spend the most time with. And so this is really an information-driven product, and we're seeing enormous engagement levels with the consumers in our beta tests. So that's all I have. This is just a real brief snapshot of what's happening in interactive TV, but hopefully I've given you some indication of what's coming and what's possible, and specifically what we're doing here in Chicago with some Chicago-based companies. Thanks very much.